What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. And this is just a discussion. It's Everton against Liverpool. It's the build-up to the game. We've got John joining us shortly. John is just sorting himself out. I decided we'd go live quite late on today because I've just finished work. So let's see if we can find John down there. Hello, beautiful.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? The derby nerves kicking in yet, are they? Because mine are.
It's actually, it's mad, and it's really, really exciting. Now, John, I'm just going to leave you with everyone for just a couple of minutes, just to talk about the press conference, just for a second, while I sort out something on YouTube. So I'm just going to trust you with that. Right, John, I'll see you in a minute.
You've dropped it on me toes, and now you want me. He's a fucking fat tit. Yo, so just going to go into the press conference. I am just hitting on the live now, so I can get some of your questions, folks. Just give me 1 sec, because Michael has literally dropped me on this. Look, we've even got volume and everything today. Here we go. Right. Just have to give me a minute, folks. Yo, so Jacob Mather, hello. Football talk, yes, boys. Where are my spoons? Have we signed Josh King yet? No, where me? I don't think that was going to happen. I think apparently there was talks between the agent and Everton. I think Everton were hoping Bournemouth would drop their price tag to maybe 10, 12 million pounds. That didn't happen. But apparently also Josh King's wants wages of £100,000 a week, and Everton aren't going to pay that. So I think that deal's dead in the water. Jonathan Ryan just asked the same question. No, we didn't. Dean Ambrose, for once, I'm excited. How do you guys feel? Excited, but nervous. No more nervous than any other derby, but I'm excited because I fancy us to win. I really do fancy us to win. So I'm just going to talk about the press conference that Carlo's done today. So apparently Yerry Mina did train. You know, I think we were all a bit worried about him having that thigh injury. He didn't play the other night. He has trained normal today. James has come back fit. Allen is fit. He did say Coleman was fit. So we have no new injury worries, according to Carlo Ancelotti. He said the boys are in good shape. And they're looking forward to it. A lot of confidence around the place at the minute, which, you know, you can only expect. But, you know, unbeaten in 7 games in all competitions. So we do go into this game very, very confident. I think Liverpool will be nervous about playing this Everton team. You know, I know they're coming on the back of a 7-2 defeat, you know, from Aston Villa. So I said this the other day, they'll either come and be shit poor, or they'll play like a wounded animal. I expect the latter, but I do think the quality that Everton do have now, and the way Liverpool especially played in the last game, that will give Everton massive confidence going into this game. This is probably the team and the fans have gone into a derby for a long, long time. I'm excited for it. But listen, it's a derby. Anything can happen. You know, it's the best on the day, and the derby nerves do start to kick in. But yeah, I am excited. So I'm going to go into some of these comments now. Wormy Spoon says, looks like no Josh King. Yeah, it's past now. It's 5:05, so it doesn't look like that'll happen. Dean Ambrose says, hit the likes, people. Yeah, if you have joined us on the stream, I know it was dropped on you folks. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. You know, the channel is flying at the minute, and all the likes, all the subs, we do appreciate. Raymond Sherry says, lads, and Wormy Spoon says, interesting. So is Ellis, the backup. I expect Ellis Sims to get more game time in the coming months, to be fair, especially if we do get a few injuries. So we will see what happens. But I think Everton wanted more outgoings. I think if Everton would have got a few more off the books today, maybe we would have paid the asking price of 14.5 million Bournemouth wanted. But I think Everton were hoping they would drop that price a bit more, with him wanting £100,000 a week. So 5 o'clock deadline's gone now, and unfortunately, folks, that is it now till January. So we see who we get in then. Hopefully it'll be a new keeper, unless he has a worldie tomorrow. Michael?
Yeah, I think it's been interesting, really, that Everton haven't moved for Josh King. And obviously there was a lot of talk about Bolasie early today with Middlesbrough and various other clubs. And I thought Josh King kind of made sense until you said about his wages. And then I thought, you're having a laugh. You know, this is a lad that scored 6 goals last season, 4 were from penalties. Yes, he's a creative player. Yes, he's quick. Yes, he's dynamic. He's aggressive. He's, you know, good on the ball. He's skillful. He's got all of the good qualities that you want. But his wages were astronomical. I mean, but, you know, based on who he is, what his qualities are, you know, to be paying him in the same region of, paying him more than Allen, paying him more than a Decore, paying him as much as a Rodriguez, he's just not worth that.
The thing is, Michael, Jesus, he does. Listen, if he comes in, he does improve the team. He can play anywhere across the middle, but he can also play up front. But I mean, let's be honest about it. What's he going to be on at Bournemouth? 35,000, 40,000 pound a week? Would you say, if that? You know,
according to something I read, he's on 120 grand a week.
Not a chance. Not a.
And that's what I thought.
Bournemouth will never. Might have been £12,000 a week. They put too many O's on it. It's not going to be that. It's definitely. I'm not being funny. If he's playing, getting £120,000 a week, and then he'll take £100,000 a week. I'm not being funny unless he's prepared to take an £80,000 a month pay rise to come back into the Premier League. Which, don't get me wrong, there is footballers that would do that. I find that very, very hard to believe he was on £120,000 a week. I find that very hard to believe. But I think as wage demands, let's just say he was on £40,000 a week, even £50,000 a week. He wants Everton to double his wages, but as Michael said, scored 6 goals last season. It was a deal that was never going to happen if them sort of figures were getting mentioned.
Yeah, and I think as well, look, I like Josh King. I'll sit here all day and say, look, I was convinced we were going to sign Josh King. But I trust Everton. I trust Ancelotti. I trust Brands. You know, if they haven't wanted to bring him in, they haven't wanted to bring him in. And that you know, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. I think irrespective of what was ever going to happen today in deadline day in terms of with the Championship, this window has been phenomenal for Everton. This window has been, you know, probably the best window I can remember in a blue shirt. It's definitely, you know, the type of player we brought in is definitely the biggest we've ever had, you know, in terms of, not ever had, sorry, but in terms of in Premier League history. You know, Rodriguez is a player that could genuinely play for any football team on this planet, and he plays for Everton. You know, so although I'm slightly disappointed we haven't brought in Josh King, I'm certainly not that bothered. You know, it's certainly not that bothered. And as you rightly said, and you spoke about Ancelotti at the start and his press conference, and about the players that he said are, you know, are fit or available or coming back. Again, you know, we seem to be, last season, we'd be having our star man coming back with an injury, or we'd be having, you know, some of the players that we've really needed, integral to Everton's sort of success this season, having injuries. And this season, we also seem to be getting a little bit of that luck. And it's just a much more feel-good factor around Goodison Park, around Everton.
I think also, Michael, and, you know, I may be wrong by saying this, but I'd say there's probably a lot of players in the Premier League who, you know, not feign injury as such, but, you know, the likes of Alan, when he went down, no one watching this now, including you and me, thought he would make the derby with the injury he had. Now, it's as if players want to not rush themselves back from injury, but probably sit down and think, is it as bad as you know, what I'm making out to be? You know, maybe I'm wrong saying that, but it's as if now the players want to get themselves as fit as they can, as fast as they can, to play in this Everton team. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Yerry Mina, apparently he was out the other night because he had a thigh injury. Now, that was only 2 nights ago that he was left out because he had a thigh injury. Ancelotti can say 2 days later, yeah, he's trained this morning, he's 100% fit, he's playing tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. And now it's as if the players who are away on international duty don't want to take that chance of getting injured more. If they feel a slight little niggle, no, I'm injured, I can't play, but because they want to play for Everton now. Do you know what I mean? And we haven't had that for a long time because, you know, whether the environment that they were in, they were enjoying, you know, Everton weren't doing that well. They thought they'd pushed themselves to play international football, blah, blah, blah. And it just seems now that the players, they're integrating now into the way Ancelotti wants to play, you know, and taking his ideas on board and seeing where Everton can aim, you know what I mean? And it's great to see, you know, and as I say, Alan, the way he was holding his groin last game, you know, and we were all worried that he wasn't going to make it. I mean, listen, I said this on my video the other day. I don't get these international games in the current climate. I really don't. They should be fucked off. You know, well, we've got players flying all over the world, Michael. And, you know, a couple of ex-footballers have actually said what I said in the last video on Twitter. And I just find it hard to believe that you can get players flying half a way around the world, but yet you can't go and see your fucking auntie in Wales.
Yeah, I've just noticed that no one was able to put new comments on, so that is now fixed, guys. You should be able to comment. Let me know if you can, if you can comment. So just start writing messages to me. I would.
Just as fucking anything.
I really appreciate it. Another thing I wanted to mention, just again briefly, obviously, in terms of the Everton-Liverpool game. We spoke about it on the preview with Ben last night. How big a chance is this? Like, seriously, let's put this in perspective. How big a chance is it? Come 3 o'clock on Saturday, Everton could have a 6-point gap at the top of the table.
Massive. And I think I said this on the match preview, Michael. I think if Everton do get the 3 points tomorrow, it'll make other teams sit up and notice Everton. You know, you've got a lot of supporters. You've got a lot of clubs saying, you know, a lot of ex-managers, a lot of current managers saying, the bubble will burst, blah, 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 wait until they get a few injuries. You know, since the season started, Michael, we played 7 games and we're unbeaten in 7. We're scoring goals for fun. We haven't conceded that many. But it's what I've been impressed with is the players who were shit last season have come in and stood up. And they've stood up to the plate, you know. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say Gylfi Sigurdsson's won me over and I want him playing every week and he's changed my mind and I want him to get a new contract. I'm not going to say that. But they've stepped up to the plate, you know what I mean? And they want to be part of it now. And, you know, a couple of times you've said this season, Delph seems to have come back in and wants to put a shift in, you know, and players aren't going hiding anymore. So injuries will hurt us. How, going back to your question, that, you know, how good would it feel tomorrow? Listen, let's take the game first because it's 10 years to the day since we beat them. Let's see what happens in the game. Then we can get excited about being 6 points clear. But if we win tomorrow, for me, it's a massive step to Champions League football.
Yeah, it's a statement. For me, more than anything, it's a statement. I think after 5 games, look, Jesus, I'm the world's biggest for getting excitable. Yeah, I mean, you all know me. You've followed me for 3 years. You all know exactly what I'm like. You know, any little bit of moments of success, I'm all over it. I'm like a rat up a drain pipe when it comes to it. But the simple fact of the matter is, Everton seem different. And you know, we're all talking about top of the league and finishing 4th, and we all predicted, you know, me, you and Ben all predicted we'd finish 4th yesterday. That optimism literally was not there 8 weeks ago.
No.
It literally was not there. You did your match reaction saying we were going to finish 12th. Match preview, season preview, saying we were going to finish 12th. And the reason for that was, there was no rumours about Alan. There was no rumours about Rodriguez. There was none about Decore. You thought, God, what I'm reading on Twitter from people like the Esk, who look, are highly rated for his financial pieces, but he can come across as quite negative. You know, you're reading those reports and you're thinking, God, actually, can we spend money? You know, is financial fair play that big a worry? You know, and this is the biggest time I can think of in my 28 years as an Everton fan, and probably your 87 years as an Everton fan, where we go into a Merseyside derby, having been on a 10-year drawing and losing run. Favourites. We go into the game tomorrow, favourites.
According to us, I'm telling you now, the bookies and BT will not have us favourites, in my opinion.
Well, I haven't looked at bookies. I haven't looked at, odds checker or whatever. So I'm just going to have a little double check at that and see if they've made us favourites for the game, because that is very interesting to see if they have, to be honest.
Well, it's even BT when they're doing their promo for the game, Michael. It's as if they've got down. There's only one fucking team playing. And listen,
did you see that earlier? The Sky one as well.
Yeah. It pisses me off. But listen, if we win tomorrow, little things like that don't bother me, because it'll have shoved that right up their ass. Do you know what I mean? And this is what Everton need to do now. They need to make people start eating their words, and we need a bit more respect off Sky and BT and the pundits, and we don't get it. And you know what? Yeah, it does ask me, but when I think about it, fuck them. Fuck them. As long as we're chugging along and we're getting these wins, and we stay unbeaten and we beat them tomorrow, I couldn't give a shit what they think. Do you know what I mean?
What? The odds for this game. So I'm just on a website called Betition. The odds for this game. So Liverpool are 5-6. The draw's 3-1, and Everton home win is 29-10. Now I'm telling you now, if I was a gambling man, I'd happily stick money on Everton at home there.
So it's Liverpool are favourites, aren't they?
Yeah. Which how can they be favourites after an absolute kicking?
I fucking told you.
Some of the I've had a couple of comments as well on Instagram. So I think some of the fan channels, Toffee TV, Rose, I think some of the guys have been asked to do like a video with Everton or for Everton on Colombian TV. Absolute credit to them. So there's no negatives to that, because I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's great exposure for their channels, and they fully deserve it. Rose is actually watching here today, which is fantastic. So for me, we're never going to get asked to stuff like that. We're not. And the reason we're not is because we are quite brutal, quite aggressive, quite raw. And
we swear.
And we swear a lot. Whereas the other guys are much more professional than we are. So we're never going to get that. And that's fine. Like, that's cool. I actually want to give Rose a shout out. I know she's watching. I want to give Rose a shout out, because I think Rose, I'm actually going to bring her up. I actually think Rose has done an incredible job at growing her network, being honest and open about her opinions. I watched her the other day, and she explained the story about, how she was from Coventry and everything. And obviously I knew that, and you knew that from the videos. And I think Rose deserves a lot of credit for what she's doing on YouTube. And I think she's growing at a really quick rate, John, to be honest. So I just wanted to give her a little shout out as she's watching, as she's obviously been asked to do that for Everton as well, because she fully deserves the exposure she's getting. I've got a lot of time for Rose. I really do.
Yeah, well done, Rose. You do deserve it. As you say, you put a lot of time into your channel while you've been off with your broken leg or whatever you had. So, listen, in your spare time, you've really worked hard at building your channel up, and obviously now, you're getting your rewards. So, well done for being asked to be part of that.
Yeah, it's great. To be honest, it's great for her, because it shows that people are sort of attracting to her. We won't mention you when we're saying that, John. Just to be careful, Rose. Be careful. One of the other things I want to mention, just while we're in the middle of this, we're up to 130 people watching on a 5 o'clock commute home. So, guys, thank you ever so much. I'm absolutely blown away. A lot of people are mentioning Beta and Sky Sports, so I do want to mention that, and I am going to go through some of the comments about it. You rightly said earlier, they don't give us a sniff. This is a team that are top of the league. This is a team that have scored 24 goals in 7 games. This is a team that have conceded, I think it's got 10 goals or something, plus 14 goal difference across all games. You know, Everton Football Club deserve a little bit more respect, in my opinion, than what I think we're being shown, certainly by the media. And I'm also
Michael's gone, so I don't know if you can hear me on my own. So just let me know, folks, in the comments if you can hear me, because I don't know what's happened to
there you go. I left you there. Do you know what? With this tablet, if you press this button, which I've just found out, if you press this button, you disappear.
Why don't you press it permanently then and leave me to myself?
Brilliant. And the other thing I wanted to mention just briefly was obviously this top 6 project. And Rose, again, I'm giving you a little trick on. This is like the Rose show. Rose, I'll send you the link. You can come in if you want. Rose did a video on this discussing the top 6 project. And honestly, I found it incredibly disrespectful that teams like Everton and Villa, who have been in the top flight for more seasons than anyone else in English football, are not being included in that. I thought that was completely disrespectful. We'll start with Sky and BT, John. What are your thoughts about them?
Well, I was going to ask you the question, to be honest, Michael. Why do you think?
I think the issue you've got with Everton is we've been seen as a bit of a step, a bit of a, you know, a club that you can sort of walk all over. You can step on. They almost, you know, they're the nice club. They're the fans club. They're the club that, you know, we do all the nice things, but we roll over when we get into a situation where we can win something or we can achieve something. We start to quiet down. You know, we bottle it. When we were under Martinez, we were 4th in the league. We give it away at home to Crystal Palace. You know, we haven't ever had that reputation then to show that sort of show that we're not wimps, we're not scared, we're not terrified of, you know, achieving positive results and things like that. So for me, I just think it's the perception of Everton. Whereas now I feel like that changes. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. The answer to your question, why do I think? I won't answer that question because I think you've just done it. But what I will say, if Everton win this game tomorrow, I guarantee you the coverage from BT after the game will not be what a good win for Everton. It'll be Liverpool have lost 2 games on the run. What's going on at Liverpool? How can Liverpool fix it? That's what it'll be. Everton won't get credit for winning the game. It'll be all about Liverpool and losing 2 games on the run. 7-2 by Villa and then getting beat by their local rivals for the first time in 10 years. It'll be all about them. Whether we beat them 7-2, you know, the Villa game will be talked about more than Everton, giving Everton credit. Oh, and Everton have beat them 7-2, just like Aston Villa did. And listen, yeah, it does arse me, but just let us keep going the way we're going along quietly. No one fucking taking notice of us, because eventually they'll have to take notice of Everton Football Club. Because for me, and I've said this to you, Michael, it seems like it's the beginning of a new dawn now. Do you know what I mean? So eventually they're going to have to.
They are going to have to. And this is why, and I'm glad we're talking about this. Rose may be coming on. I've just sent her the link. So I've had to take a picture of it rather than copy and paste it because I haven't got Twitter on my tablet. This is why I think the top 6 conversation, we were included, but we were also excluded in a weird way. So we're not in the top 6, but we're in the top 9. So therefore, we're in the West Ham, the Everton. It was just a load of bollocks, to be honest. I also want to give a little shout out to this guy as well, John, if you don't mind. Sorry, guys, I'm giving a shout out. See this Matt Ford there? This Matt Ford. Don't know who he is. He's got some absolute bottle, this lad. So he wrote on one of the comments. Do you remember what did he write, John? He called me Fat Mike, didn't he? Now, I love a bit of banter. But I don't know whether I can take it from a man that appears like that, John. Do you get what I mean? I'm struggling. So, guys, just to let you know,
I've only got one word to say. Looking at his profile picture there, hard drive.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so briefly. So this top 6 project, what was your thoughts on that?
Well, now it's being blown out the water, and it's not happening. It's just showed how much the Americans want a money grab and take as much as what they can out of the Premier League. You know, and listen, this was all building up to this European Super League. That's what this was all building up to. And it's being blew out the water. And for me, this has showed Liverpool and Man United for what they really are. You know, trying to talk about it and we'll look after the EFL. The EFL knocked back a massive amount of money yesterday. A massive amount of money. Do you know what I mean? So I'm glad it hasn't. Brilliant. I'm glad it didn't take off because I think it would have affected the other 18 teams or 16 teams the way they wanted to do it. I don't think it would have been fair on the EFL, and I don't think it would have been fair on the rest of the Premier League. So for me, I'm glad it's not happening. You know, big clubs like that always try and find a way around it. But for me, I don't think they will on this occasion. I think now it's being forgot about. And, you know, I'm glad. It just shows them up for what they really are, Michael.
Did you think that it was a benefit to the EFL clubs?
Well, it can't have been that much of a benefit because they got offered, I think it was 50 million quid yesterday or 20 million quid or whatever it was, and they knocked it back. The executive of the EFL knocked it back. Rick Perry.
He's under a little bit of. I'd say he's under a bit of pressure now. To be honest, I don't think he's.
But he should have took that money. So he's going to be under pressure for a lot of the chairmen from them clubs. But you know, I know he's an ex-Red. You know, he used to look after their finance. I think he was the chief executive there or whatever he was. But you know what? Good on him for knocking that money back. Good on him.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I just want to give you a little shout out here. Everton since I watched your watch along, we haven't lost a game. But that's positive. You make sure you keep watching, mate. Let's go through just some of the comments. I have messaged Rose, so we'll see if she comes on. Wormy Spoons, have we signed Josh King? No. Jonathan Ryan, Josh King, no. Dean Ambrose, for once I'm excited. How do you guys feel? Absolutely buzzing. I'm really looking forward to it. Dean Ambrose hit the likes. John Maguire, hi. Jonathan Ryan, Everton win because they are the best team in the league. Come on, you Blue Boys.
Well, they are.
You have to say they are. You have to. Julian Cabrera. Greetings from Colombia. Greetings, mate. Greetings. Brad the lad, I'll be cheering Everton on tomorrow, and I'm a United fan. I think we will lose 2-0 to Newcastle. Well, as a team that is probably going to be challenging Everton around that top 4 mark, I hope you do lose. But I mean it in the nicest possible way, because I don't like Newcastle either. I don't like Newcastle at all. I love Newcastle to go down.
I'm sorry, Brad, but the way United are playing, I think Newcastle have got more chance of challenging us for the top
4. Football talk. Imagine Everton top 4 by Christmas. Imagine us second by Christmas.
Or still first.
Well, first. Julian Cabrera. Colombia is now coffee and toffee. Thanks for believe in our Colombian players. To be honest, I mean, if Santiago Arias didn't get coronavirus, I think he would have joined. And although his ankle now faces the wrong way, I think at least, we would have had another one.
His ankle's now facing Brazil.
Yeah. He's facing Chile, and his ankles. Oh dear. What's going on here? What's going on?
Want me to jump in?
Yeah.
Brad the lad says, I predict a 1-1, but I hope it's going to be an explosive game. I think it will be. I think Liverpool have got to put a lot of things right from the last performance, and I think the way Everton are playing, it's going to be 2 teams who really go for it. I predicted 3-1. Richard Kennedy, good evening, guys. The first time in years since I've felt we can genuinely have a chance of winning it here. It's a complete different buzz and feel this season. Totally agree. I'm not going into it as nervous. Don't get me wrong, it's a derby game. I am nervous, but not as nervous as what I normally am. Eugene McGeever, prediction for the Everton versus Liverpool match in the Merseyside derby to my lunchtime. I've gone 3-1. I think Michael predicted 2-1. Jonathan Ryan, come on, Everton, win tomorrow. How are you, Mike and John, both doing today? We're sound, mate. Sound. Busy day. Had a little game of FIFA earlier on. We were shit again, but Johnny B. Good. Well, Michael was shit. I was brilliant. Johnny B. Good, Everton 3-1. But I said, Jason Drury, I was seeing this comment before. Tim Sherwood has said we're going to get smashed. Tim Sherwood knows as much about my 8-year-old about football. Anyone here?
She is. We have it there. He is. I tell you what, it's like sitting in the presence of a celebrity now, Rose. Honest to God.
So,
how are you?
Thanks, though. Yeah, no, I'm enjoying the show. Thanks for all the shout outs and everything. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's thoroughly deserved. To be honest, I'm glad you come. I was just. Have you been on Colombian TV? Because obviously, I haven't seen a link or anything.
Yeah, no, so we don't know when it's going out, but yeah, like Everton, I don't know if you know, but like the fan engagement team, they reached out and were like, oh, like, would you like to talk about James? Yes, obviously, like,
yeah,
no,
we know, Rose, we know.
yeah,
you and James,
cool.
woo!
I know, a bit of a crush. But yeah, they're
what about us?
Yeah, they were really nice. But
yeah. Laugh, John. I look like James Corden, and you look like you should be dead.
I just want to give one shout out before. I just want to carry on. Give a quick shout out to one of my long-term mates, Tony Jones. Hi, John, from Tony Hardy and the kids in Oman. Tony is in the army, and I've always respected Tony a lot. You know, he's worked on the front line. He's worked on the bomb disposal in Basra and Iraq and Iran. So very brave lad. Me and Tony go back a long way. So stay safe out there, Tony. I know it's not as bad out there, and I know you've got your office job now and you're quite high up. So thanks for getting in touch. He only started watching the channel about 2 weeks ago. So give my love to Hardy and the kids, and it's nice of you to join us, mate.
I love this shout out. I have had to question my sexuality since watching James. Rose, you did a brilliant video and the other night, and you spoke about the top 6 and things like that. What was you? I mean, obviously, go over to Rose's channel. If you sub to me, go and sub to Rose. It's Everton Rose. Everton Rose. That's it. I always put the Rose and the Everton in the wrong way around.
Sorry, so is that the Project Big Picture thing?
Yeah. So what? So obviously, just what did you think?
Well, basically, I just thought it was like so disrespectful. I just thought, you know, you've got all these clubs like Leeds, Villa, Everton, really historic clubs, and then you've got Liverpool and Man United, because I think they're just probably a bit broke since the COVID thing happened, being like, oh, you know, we want to cancel this competition, cancel the other one. So obviously, you know, I'm an Evertonian first, but, you know, Coventry is my hometown. So, you know, I had one of my best nights in football going away to Man United with my dad as like a kid, beating them in the EFL Cup. If you get rid of the EFL Cup, you're just denying football supporters that. You can give them money, but like that memory, that I'll always have that. So I just thought, and it's just the other stuff, like, you know, giving more decision-making power to the top 6. So essentially, I think we would have actually qualified as one of the top 9, whatever longest standing members. But if you look at somebody like Wolves or someone else, and then they get a potentially like billionaire owner, of course the top 6 would say, actually, hold on, they might threaten us. And so I read into that as, let's keep everybody else below us so that we're still the top 6 and we're the top 6 every season. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that they had some sort of proposal that they could vote if a club wanted to change owners. So
yeah, they could, yeah.
So I just thought, well, yeah, if, you know, Leeds get some sort of millionaire, billionaire, of course they're going to say no. Like, why would they let Leeds also like become like a new Man City or whatever? So I could see some of the benefits, but I just think on the whole it was just a power grab. So yeah,
I completely agree. The thing that I found, and I mentioned it earlier, about the EFL was, you know, when they were talking about taking the EFL Cup away and the Community Shield. The Community Shield, it sounds silly, but that stands for, originally it was charity. Every bit of money that was raised from that would go to the charity. The Community Shield, I now understand that all that money is meant to go to grassroots. And you're fundamentally taking that away and saying, right, we'll give grassroots football £100 million just because they can, just because, that's easy for them. Yeah. But they're taking away the essence of, them kids that get the opportunity to go and watch a Community Shield final. Them kids at the local schools that get asked for free tickets. You EFL clubs who have one chance per season of playing against one of the big boys in the FA Cup because you took away the Carabao Cup opportunity. It's just not right.
That takes me on to a comment here, Michael, that you've just said there. The Great Metropolis says getting rid of the League Cup is long overdue. It'll make the FA Cup more prestigious. There you go. And that's exactly what you've just hit on. You're taking away the chance for the lower league teams that probably get to a final, and win it, and get their fans to Wembley. And you're taking that away because I'm not being funny. It's very, very rare, you get a lower league team winning the FA Cup or the EFL, but they tend to go further in that competition.
Bradford 5 years ago got to the final. They beat Man United and Villa in the semi-final and the quarter-final.
You're taking that away from them teams.
Yeah, exactly. I understand. I do understand Premier League clubs saying we play too many games. We're playing Europe. We're playing 4 competitions. I get it, but you also are the teams that can afford to have 2 different squads. I'm not being funny. Manchester City's B team is probably better than at least 14 other Premier League teams.
Yeah, they'd finish in the top half, like, no worries. Like the second team,
Man City's B team,
is winning the Scottish League.
Do you know what? I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that. Rose, obviously, and John, if you need to go, because I appreciate I'm taking your time. So if you need to go,
I've got Rosie here now, have you, eh?
Well, that's it. Get you off my channel. Rose, what's your thoughts about the game tomorrow?
I'm really excited. I don't think I've been excited for a derby ever. Maybe the whole 10 years thing. It's just so long overdue that we're going to beat them. I really am confident, and I won't fully believe it until we're 3-0 up with 1 minute to go, maybe. But I'm honestly really hopeful. It's a really bizarre situation, I think, because
we just jump in there, Rose. We were 2-0 up against Newcastle with 12 seconds to go, so I think we need more.
Exactly.
Don't. That game, I'll never forget that. I travelled up after work. I drove from Birmingham to London to Liverpool to get there in time for the game. I watched us go 2-0 up thinking, you know what, this has been worth it. The 600 miles or whatever I'd driven that day was worth it. And we ended up giving it away in the last minute. And I sat there with John. I was basically in tears. I was genuine. I was in absolute tears.
And it was freezing.
Oh, God, that was awful, that game. What's your score prediction then? Is it 3-0?
No, I think I'm going to go with 2-1. I think it'll be really close. Yeah. But I just don't. It's just Jordan Pickford for me is still the one. And Adrian for them though in the Villa game, he was making mistakes every 5 minutes. So I think it'll come down to that. I
actually think Adrian could be a bit worse than Pickford, me.
Yeah.
I think that's a bold statement.
Well, at least Pickford can shot stop. He can't do anything. And there was one where it was going in and hit the bar. Adrian was near the corner flag.
One of the other things we discussed, and we mentioned this on the video yesterday in the preview, was obviously we all know roughly the team, and I think we'd all probably agree. But there was one person that I changed, which was I dropped Andre Gomez and put in Gylfi Sigurdsson. And I'll explain my reason, Rose, before you shoot. Look at the face. Look at it. What's that? So because Adrian's in goal, I said if you put Sigurdsson on the pitch, I think there's more chance of Sigurdsson shooting from 25 yards, 30 yards than there is an Andre Gomez doing that. Sometimes he gets the ball. It can be, look, he's started the season really good, and he's a great passer of the ball, moves it quickly. But I just think against a poor keeper like Andrea, you want to be peppering his goal. So that was the only change I made. Rose, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think I'm an idiot, or I mean, you can just say, I know, you know what we're like.
No,
you can say what you like.
I can see a reasoning for that one. I'd probably just keep Gomez just for continuity, even though it's been an international break. I would still keep. But to be honest, I'm not really fussed about that one. I think you're right in terms of Gomez doesn't tend to shoot from outside the box, but Sigurdsson will and can. And I think that's the main thing for me. I want us to put them under pressure from like minute one, the goalkeeper, the defense, because I don't think the goalkeeper as well, but I think their defense just, against the Villa game, but in general, I think hasn't looked like what it was. And so I think we just need to get at them. Like, don't show them respect like we have in all the other derbies where we've just been terrified. Like, get the ball. That's the main thing that I want to see.
Be aggressive from the start.
From the start.
If you look at Liverpool this season defensively, the first game of the season, they only just beat Leeds 4-3. And if you look at Liverpool's defence now, Joe Gomez has started, Paul, and we've said this on a couple of videos, me and Michael, I don't know if you've seen them, Rose, but he seems to be playing a higher line now, Liverpool. Now, Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold as well, and Robertson. Yeah, they're good going forward, but they can't defend. They've only got, as someone put, Dick Van Dijk there at the minute. Now, for me, he's living off the media hype. Don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic defender. But you see him with Leeds where he tried to bring the ball down, thought he was too cocksure of himself, and it bounced off him, and Bamford put it in. So if they play that tomorrow, for me, that's a dangerous move against the likes of Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin there. As Michael pointed out, what James has done a lot this season, when he picked the ball up, seems to have put it over the top. Now, if their fullbacks are pushing up and leave gaps there, I honestly think we could really, really hurt Liverpool tomorrow. But for me, I don't think we have to change the way we've played this season. If we play the way we've played against them and they carry on with that high line the way we've been playing, I can only see one winner. And that's not me being biased and bitter. It stands to reason. The way Everton are playing and the way they played defensively this season, they'll come unstuck if they play like that.
We've got goals in us. Like, I think that's the main difference that I see, that we've just got goals. In all the derbies before, honestly, I went into them not wanting to get hammered and just like maybe like a 1-0 loss or something, but I could never see us scoring. That's different this time. So
scored about 28 goals in 7 games or something, haven't we? 26 goals.
Yeah, and I think as well, and again, we've touched on this, and I think actually you touched on this in your last match reaction, Rose, as well. The mentality. When Everton, when Everton's back's against the wall, when it goes 2-2, 1-1, 0-0, Everton step up, then they ease off. They do let teams back in, Everton. They do. They have done. West Brom, Palace, Brighton. Yeah. We've been drawing all of those games at one point. Although it's 0-0 at the start of the game, so don't dig with it. But the facts are, when Everton have had to step up, when they've scored, 5-10 minutes later, Everton have gone 3-2 up or 2-1 up. We've controlled the games where we've needed to, and against Liverpool, that's the exciting test. We're going up against the team that are champions. We all despise Liverpool for obvious reasons, but there's no doubt it's a great test to see how far we have come as a football club.
Yeah,
in such a short space of time. I never believed at the start of this season Everton would be wherever they are now.
No.
Following the end of last season. Sitting there, that 4-1 home defeat to Bournemouth, sitting there thinking, what's this?
Yeah.
Even the Norwich game, 10 months ago, when Silva was in charge,
Don't, John. You were famous from that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
What's that?
I just want to read one of the comments out there from another mate of mine. I've been to a few derbies with you, John. My arse has gone 10 years tomorrow since we beat them in 2010. It's an old man, mate. Now, obviously, he's referring back to my mate who's working in Oman. at the minute. So you never know. It could be an old man. You never know.
I like that.
Never know. Guys, obviously, Rose, thanks for coming on. Like, wow, you know.
No worries. No worries.
There you are. We'll have to do this more often. It's an absolute pleasure having you on. I absolutely love having you on.
Can I just ask you two a question?
No, John,
before
you
we
can't.
go?
Right, see you later, guys. Try.
So Rob Shepherd has put Liverpool are the best team in the country. Try not to be too confident, people. Liverpool are the Premier League holders. So, yeah, they are the best team in the country. But for the way in current form, then I'm not worried about playing this Liverpool team. I think we've scored one of the highest amount of goals in Europe. We've got the top goal scorer in Europe. We're top of the league. So yeah, Liverpool are the best team in the country. If you look at them winning the league
on paper,
but on current form, try not to be too confident. My confidence is at the highest it's been playing this shite tomorrow for a long time.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well,
what I will say as well, though, is like, what I will say is, of course, I'm bothered about the result for tomorrow, but for me, it'll just be about the performance. Like, I just want us to be, like you said, Mike, more controlled. Like, of course, I'd love us to win, but I think, you know, if we don't win tomorrow, it's not like the be all and end all. But if we could, it would be a massive statement. I think then, you guys touched on it before I joined, the media couldn't ignore us then. Like, do you remember when we beat Spurs and they were all like, oh yeah, Spurs have down tools for Mourinho and Mourinho's lost it and all of that. And then they beat Man United 6-1. And you think, is that the same team then that we just made look bad? So hopefully tomorrow we can get the win. I'm going to head off and enjoy my Friday. But thanks for having me on at like no notice. So
have we asked you the score prediction before you go, Rose? Have we asked you the score?
We've done it, John.
Oh, go on. Do you know what? I think, go on. I'll make it more positive. 3-1. 3-1.
There we go. There I went 3-2. Rose, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you ever so much. See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant, Matt. Absolutely brilliant. It's lovely to have her on. She's fantastic. Make sure, if you are new to our channel, make sure you press the subscribe and like button. Make sure you share this, and obviously go over to Everton Rose and subscribe and press the notification button on for her. She is fantastic. John, I'm conscious we've been on this a lot longer than I've ever planned.
We've got 203. We've got 203 watches. If you've got 5 more minutes, you just want to do some comments or not?
Absolutely. That's what I was just about to say, mate. You better with the comments. You go there and I'll sit here smiling.
Carl Blundell says, we're all forgetting that Liverpool are still the best. Unfortunately, they will not be easy. Last game was a blip. We have to take this serious and be cautious. We do, because it's a Merseyside derby. But, you know, at the end of the day, with the informed team in the league, you know, Aston Villa as well are unbeaten. But, you know, let's hope it wasn't a blip. But they weren't great against Leeds, as I said before. Carl Molyneux, hello lads and hello Rose. I'm really confident about the game tomorrow. I've had a bet that DCL to get a hat-trick at odds of 66-1. Where's the 5 of that? Jesus Christ. Presley says Presley is a great keeper. Obviously, you don't watch him enough then, or you're a red shite. Carl Molyneux, laughing faces. Mark Jones says exactly what Michael said. We need to pepper Adrian's goals. Matthew Rampton says, don't change a winning team. If all players are back, lads, totally agree. Go with the same. I said that on my match preview. Usual McGee, but what do you think will be the Everton lineup against Liverpool tomorrow? Well, I've gone for the same team as last time. Michael's put Sigurdsson in instead of Gomez, which that's his choice, let's just say. James Milner looks like Shirley Carter from EastEnders. Brilliant. Al Clark, I'd love to see nkounkou tomorrow. Listen, if Luca Dean, it's Ancelotti said today that Luca Dean, he didn't say, you know, we said we had a clean bill of health, so it looks like Luca Dean isn't injured. I know we limped off the other night. I would have had no problems putting the young kid in, to be fair. Blue Cali says we're going to smash them. Georgie boy, we just need to start the way we started the last 7 matches, and don't give them a chance to settle. Agreed. And I think the players we've got now, the likes of Alan and Takore, we will be up and at them from the first whistle. Whereas in years gone by, you know, we've had Sigurdsson, we've had Schneiderlin, we've had Tom Davis. obviously dealt the last 18 months, 12 months, or whatever it is. But I think tomorrow, different players, different game. Rob Shepherd, Liverpool. Well, I've answered that, Rob. Dave Walker, sorry, Rob, but look at the table. Exactly what I said. Blue Cali says they were last season, new season now. Totally agree. Rob Shepherd said only 4 games. Pal, listen, Rob, what I will say is if you wouldn't have got knocked out by Arsenal, you'd be counting it as 7 as well. So we're unbeaten in 7 in my eyes. Mark Jones, we shouldn't give them respect. I don't think we will. I think it's a different Everton. Rob Shepherd says a draw all day long for me. In your opinion. Dave Walker, we will see. The great metropolis, Liverpool will be like a wounded animal. Mane, Salah and Bobby to do their business. 5-0 to the mighty Reds. We will see. Make sure you come back tomorrow and do the watch along with us or drop into the match reaction if Everton have won. I don't expect to see you. 3-1, no way, in my opinion it is. Paul Cape from Melbourne. Hello, Paul. Nice of you to join us again, mate. I'd like us to play well and win, but if I'm honest, I'd take a fluky 1-0 win, anything to shut them knobheads up. I love the poison coming from the Reds. They're defo rattled. Oh, mate, we're living rent-free in the Reds. The Reds are falling off everywhere. Honest to God. Everton botchers. What are Liverpool fans looking for here? Because their YouTube channels are shit, mate, and ours is the best. That's why they always come on here. Matthew Rampton says our form and our confidence. Most confident I've been going into the derby for years. Probably the team feel like that as well. Garcia says an Everton last minute goal to win the game. I'd take that all day. It'd be even better. 95th minute, last kick of the game. I want. Peter Armstrong echoes my sentiments. Copite, why are you here?
Do you know what? Do you know what I did earlier? Just so people know, I actually messaged one of the Liverpool YouTube channels and asked them if they wanted to come on at half time.
What did they say? If we're winning?
They've ignored it because they know they're going to be...
Is it something house?
No, I ain't having any of them shit houses on. No, it was one of the smaller ones. It was one of the smaller ones because I think, you know, at the end of the day, I can't be arsed with any of their crap channels. I mean, did you watch them the other night? What is it? Red Men TV?
The Irish fella, Villa.
Oh God, I put him in the promo video, didn't I? I put him in the promo.
Well,
6-1, 6-1. You lose 7-2. It's fucking priceless. They embarrass themselves.
Luca Dean, John. When you say Luca Dean, does that remind me of you? Reminds me of. Does that remind me of me? I think you're supposed to say reminds you of me. He's got more hair. He's got. No, he hasn't got more hair. He's got hair, has he? I think you better listen. In your heyday, Luke, you were a player, mate. You were a very, very good player. It's just a shame you didn't carry on with it. I think you could have made it myself, to be fair. Just like your little lad now. If Everton want to be the Premier League champions, they need to beat the best and be the champions of England in May. Totally agree. That's what Liverpool done. You know. I'm going to read a few more out because we have been on an hour nearly now. AD Pope, I'm feeling squeaky bum time, to be honest. Yeah, it's derby nerves, isn't it? But I'm confident. Geordie boy, would like Nkounkou to play on the left and keep Adrian under pressure of his crossing ability. I'd have no problem throwing him in. I just don't think you can change a winning team, in my opinion, to be fair. Tuesday Delaney, Pickford has to play better. Goes without saying. Andy Manns, Alan is the MVP for me. If he links well with Coleman, Mane isn't having any joy. Great video again, boys. Cheers, Andy. Thanks, mate. And I totally agree. Mane, for me, is their danger man. Georgia boy, where they in Norway? Fucking everywhere, mate. Anthony Jones, last three comments.
Yep.
Anthony Jones, Everton will win. Allen's the best signing Everton have made in decades. Yeah. I feel a bit bad on the likes of Decore and Allen because all we do seem to talk about really is Hammers, and listen, them two have been just as influential in the first 4 games of the league for me. So listen, they're all fantastic signings in my opinion. Pop Children's, let's not forget that Allen plays a very important part, which is what I've just said. Jay Palacio, worried Liverpool are going to target Hammers, Everton to win 4-1. They probably will, to be fair. I expect that. The great metropolis, I'll be back to ruffle more feathers when we've trounced you lads. I look forward to that. And you know what? You know, if you win, and you win easy, even join us, and we'll say well played, but that's the only credit you'll get off me.
You fucking won't. You can say what you want, I fucking won't. fucking hell, if they beat
Because it's
us
not going to
tomorrow,
happen. That's why I said it's not going to happen.
fucking hell, but fucking, I tell you what, I swear to God, if well played ever come out your mouth against Liverpool, I swear to God,
You think I'd say that? You see me saying that fucking half to me tomorrow.
Guys, remember, obviously, the match
whatever it
preview. The match preview is already out. So it was recorded yesterday. It's out on the channel. It's the video below this one. Make sure you go and check it out if you haven't watched it. Ben Winstanley was on. Prominent person on Twitter. Really good friend of ours. Top bloke. He knows his shit. So it's good to have. It's good to have him on. Obviously, we've had Rose on here as well. So I'm quite passionate about bringing Everton fans and communities and creators together, and that's something that me and John both expressed that we want to do. We want to keep doing it, grow it. Maybe in time we can do a live and we can have different fans coming in. We can put the link out and you guys could come in and have it as a little bit like a talk show. 3 minutes there, 3 minutes each. Tell us your thoughts. Have it like a radio show. We could do that. We could be the next YouTube radio station. John,
we are a fan channel.
We are the fan channel. We are 100% a fan channel. You won't see us, I suspect, on any TV anytime soon because no one's going to ask us with our language. I don't want
them to ask us.
Oh well, no, I don't know. I wouldn't have minded going on Colombian TV.
Wouldn't mind going on a Colombian bird, but that's a different story for a different day.
Well, there you go. Guys, look, I'm going to leave it there. John, unless you want to read any comments for the last 3 minutes or whatever, but I'm going to leave it there.
Just 3 more comments have popped up for there's loads now. TB Trieste, great occasion to measure our progress. We said that. Pop Children says Everton won't lose at Goodison Park. That's what I'm confident about as well. Fans or no fans. Garcia, is Yerry Mina going to play? Apparently, according to Ancelotti, he is. Pop Children says it'll either be a draw or a win. 80 Pope, thanks, lad. See you tomorrow at Cambridgeshire Blue. I'm going to read 2 more. Cliff Owens, ha ha ha. Another question, is Pickford going to bring his arms to brilliance? No, I hope so.
Well done.
Yeah, great shout. Right, listen, folks, we actually got up to over 200 people watching at any one time there, which to drop a line
5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock, well, 5, 6, it's 6 o'clock now. It's just dropped a bit, but people are having the tea. There was no heads up on Twitter or any social media. We just banged it on. We went live, so that is absolutely fantastic. To come and see
I text John at 4:53.
Yeah.
Let's go live at 5. We don't do it usually. Obviously, Toffee TV have got their show at 5. The Toffee Blues have also got a live stream at 5. Cam does one at 5. So we don't usually.
Yeah, so considering there was that many people probably doing a video the same time as us and we went live, we've smashed it. We are definitely doing a watch along tomorrow, folks, so hopefully you can join us for that. We will be.
The match reaction and the player rating straight after, literally. God, I can't even talk, John. So we got the predictions video first thing in the morning, 10 o'clock. Live on here, so make sure you come over to that. That's the Premier League games predictions for the entire weekend with me, maybe John, but mostly me. Then we've got the watch along.
It isn't mostly you.
Well, you don't usually do that video. You've done it once.
Well, I might do it again. See what I'll have to check my diary.
That's what I've just fucking said, John. So you come tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that's it. So we've got me and John on tomorrow for the predictions video. Then we've got the watch along. I'm thinking 12:10 gives us a little bit of time to build up to the game, talk about the squads. We might have
Ben coming on to talk about the team as well.
Yeah. Then we've got the match reaction, which is literally straight after, live again, straight into it. And then we've got the player ratings. Now, sometimes John doesn't do that one, but if he does, he can stay. Obviously, I love John, so John can stay.
Like your missus.
Fucking, honest to God, mate, if you want to go, you can fucking go. I tell you what, you have to turn your head the opposite way to usual to talk to the person. I'm facing you now and I'll punch you in the head. So guys, look, I'm leaving it there. Fantastic. You went the wrong way, you need to go that way.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, it's an absolute pleasure. I will see you soon. John, any last words?
No, again, I just echo Michael's sentiments there. We're looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely mad. It's going to be a laugh. Join us. Maybe a couple of drinks being had by me. I haven't had one for a month now. So hopefully we will be celebrating an early win to put us 6 points top of the league.
Exactly. Agreed. And also, just so obviously, I made a little funny video 2 nights ago on Twitter. It ended up having like God knows how many thousand views, loads of retweets, loads of likes, all of that. And I just want to end with the same sentiment that I put in that video. Batman thinks Cop-Outs are gobshots.
Yeah, and then he sees Anfield from on top of the live building and goes, "What's that? What the fuck is that?"
Guys,
one little thing. Blue Cali. His wife's just said to him, "Your phone's ringing." I said, "I'm watching Mike and John." She says, "How are they? Are they okay? We're like family." Yeah, where's that? I hope you and your wife are there. The sound as well, Blue. Give it our love. In fact, we're feeling nice today. We're excited for the derby. Me and Michael are sending our love to each and every one of yous, apart from the red shite who have popped up on this live.
Exactly. Guys, yeah, absolutely fantastic. John, I love you. A big day tomorrow. My stomach's going already. I'm not having a diet day today. I'm going to the chippy. And yeah, let's get prepped for that derby. Let's go and smash them lot tomorrow. Oh, again, one last thing. Guys, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers.
To nowhere.
We're on the road to nowhere.
Can you notice none of us knew the rest of the song then?
I don't know any of the words. If you can share this with anyone random, any strangers, just get them to subscribe to the channel. We really, really do appreciate it. We want to
just go down to your local shop now and just pull anyone in off the street. Just say to them, follow the Blue Boys Network.
Yeah, 2 meters apart with a mask. Go and stand outside your houses now and shout, subscribe to the Blue Boys Network. You might have to pull off the mask just a little bit, but don't tell anyone.
Cheers, folks. Be back. See you later.